So Joey Logano came home with the trophy. He was the only one, but there were some other guys that I think we could consider winners. Who'd you have on your list?
Well, I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has to be considered a winner. I mean, when you look at really where Roush Fenway was as an organization, I think they are one that can't wait for the rules to change just for change. They don't care less downforce, more. They didn't care. They just wanted something different. When I talked to that organization down in Daytona, they were excited to get it going. They didn't know if they would be good or bad, but they were excited that everybody would be at a more level playing field just because it was new. And I think Ricky Stenhouse has done a nice job of being aggressive. And you know what I like, Jeff, is he's made me apologetic. Like, I'm taking every run. I got to fight for every spot out there.
It's competition, and you take a guy like Ricky that hasn't had the success that he expected to have, he's going to drive hard. He's got a fast race car. He's going to drive hard.
Well, it's funny. Go back to him, right?
This package suits Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, I was going to say two-time Xfinity champion. So.
He is. Yeah. This is made for him. I think you're going to see more Ricky Stenhouse Jr. running in the front.
Yeah, I don't know if it made their cars better or if it brought the competition back to him. It doesn't make any difference. He's more competitive in a good way, and he's fun to watch do it. He's going to make some people mad along the way, but it's entertaining to watch, and that's basically what they're trying to do. You know, this is a sport, but it's entertainment at the same time, and it's not made up, as you can see him out there getting every position he could.
Yeah, Ricky pissed a lot of people off a year ago at the big tracks, I mean the super speedways, because they said he was too aggressive. Well, you just heard Eric Almirola say, man, that was fun. I had a good time. We were aggressive out there. We were battling each other. I hit him in the back. You know, those are the kind of things that, as a fan, I love watching that. I love that battle that I saw between Ricky and Eric on the racetrack.
How about Kurt Busch?
Yeah, he was great too.
Well, and Matt McCall. I have been frustrated for years now, and you've unfortunately took the brunt of this, standing next to me in the booth.
My arms are sore.
Like, the crew chiefs know when yellers are coming with these stage finishes. And I'm not talking about the front 6 or 8, because they're out there racing for points and things like that. But from 8th to 20th, it seems like they're just on this hamster wheel, doing the same thing every week, not gaining anything. Well, Matt McCall runs the fuel basically empty in the middle of stage 2, takes 4 tires, gets to the end of stage 2, says, I'm staying out. He was about a 10th to 15th place car, stayed out, gave his driver track position. He runs 4th. A-plus move from Matt McCall to make the call, but more importantly, for Kurt Busch to believe in it and drove the wheels off it when he was a little bit in the way. Didn't care. He fought for every position.
Yeah, but he knew what he could and couldn't do with that race car. So he ran it as hard as he could at that point. Then he settled in and got a great finish out and did the things that you need to do. Kurt Busch is kind of in a place right now that I think he appreciates and understands that this was a team that needed a little bit of a pickup, and he's doing that. And this is one that, would you have sat down and put the crew chief and the driver together? No, but it happened, and now it's putting a lot of good things out there on the racetrack, and the last 2 weeks have been fun to watch him race.
I mentioned it before, I love strategy, and that's one of the ways that Kurt Busch had a good finish is because they're playing strategy to get up front. I think it's the whole picture. It's not just a car that's faster than the other guy. It's everybody working together to figure out, how do I get him up front?
Yeah. One thing we do know, we heard all the drivers talking about, when you get behind somebody, it's hard to pass. So when you have the lead, what are you going to do? You can't give it up. I mean, you're going to make some people mad. You're going to have to drive aggressively. You're going to have to block. You're going to have to do the things that we've seen on plate races where we've seen so many wrecks. And I think that's why Brad Keselowski, before the race, said, hey, we're going to see wrecks. Because on these restarts, there were going to be times where the best car wasn't out front, where you're going to have to do things to block. You're going to have to do things to make passes. We're going to have more drivers mad at each other. I know that this race didn't turn out this, barn-burning kind of a race that everybody wanted, but it's coming. With this package, it's coming.
They were 4 wide on the restart. So, I mean, there's a lot of give and take, and when you get to the end of the race, there's not going to be much giving. They're going to be more taking than giving.
So I know we talked about the rules at the start of this show about the race, but the one thing I continue to think about is I can name the drivers, right? Jeff Gordon, multiple-time champion. Everyone knows, right? There was a 5-inch spoiler, a 7-inch spoiler, a 4-inch spoiler. You've won races with high valences and low valences. Richard Petty won 7 championships with different rules, right? Like, the rules is a topic of a conversation, but I look through the history books. I don't see a lot of asterisks. I don't see a lot of, well, Dale Sr. won, but there was a fin on the roof, and that doesn't. That's not how it works. Very simply, drivers strap in to cars. The cars will always be a topic of conversation because they're a huge part of what we see on the racetrack as a fan and as an analyst. But the simple fact is, what I love is the drivers competing against one another. That's what I saw with Eric Almirola and Ricky Stenhouse. I said there was going to be a big wreck. I was wrong. There's going to be a big wreck somewhere because, not because they drive bad, but because they drive so good. I think I'm going to get a little confident, get a little too close to you. Melee.
Yeah, but I think the downforce helped. That probably helped them more than what they thought in those tight situations, the drivers, and they were able to make that happen. But when I look at this sheet right here, guys, we've had 3 races. We've got 3 different winners, and Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick haven't won. We could easily go through these first 5 races and have a different winner in all of them.
I want to throw one other winner out there, Denny Hamlin. You see him second on the list there.
Great name.
He I think, has done a great job. A year ago, we talked about how he couldn't win, and he didn't win, and he had a streak going. He lost that streak, but he comes out the first race of the year, wins the Daytona 500. He's been very strong, Atlanta and now Las Vegas, and he had Carlos.
Well, I was gonna say,
He sure in the elevator. I mean, that was spectacular.
you know what winning the 500 does? It takes the pressure
Look at this.
The pressure off. This made my Sunday
The
morning.
hangover, and I think we should call him Carlos.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Denny is, when you get Denny a new crew chief, this is good news and bad news. If you're his current crew chief, it's bad news. When you give him a new crew chief, he always wins.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like it's happened. And then on a year where we heard a lot about Denny, he's going to lose his ride. You got Christopher Bell coming. He's like, not so much. Like, I can still win races. I can still contend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin ain't done. I can guarantee you he's digging. And he's going to be more dangerous now. Those rumors, they only make you mad. And Denny Hamlin's going to be hard to guard.
Now you throw caution to the wind, too, because you have the win.
Yes.
So now you can go out and really gamble to try to get more wins.
So up next, what we're going to do is we're going to have Turning Point. We're going to show you how Joey Logano outlasted some of NASCAR's best, including the hometown favorite.
Hey NASCAR fans, thanks for checking out the NBC Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe below for the latest NASCAR news, race highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.